Yo, Dre. Yo, Dre. Yo, Dre.
So, how are you guys doing today? It's Sean the Wise One back again. I just thought we'd have this discussion. And if you're asking what is this discussion that I'm talking about, it's the discussion about Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Hmm. If you guys have been watching or paying attention to the media at all, that is ESPN, Fox, and all your other media outlets, even the ones with the other podcasts, guys with other podcasts, they've been having this debate, and that debate really is about Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and where do they rank, and if you'd put any one of those guys in the all-time on the all-time list. If you ask me, I would have to consider putting Steph Curry in there. If you talk about guys that I would possibly consider taking out, you have your guys like Wilt Chamberlain, and I'm also thinking along those lines of Oscar Robinson. Uh, and the only reason I say that is because I'm not trying to take away from Oscar Robertson's greatness. But with that being said, Russell Westbrook and among other players have showed that the triple double isn't all that it seems. You know, it's not a winning stat. It can be attributed to winning in instances, but it's just in a nutshell. You can't just look at it and say, that's a winning trait or statistic, even because you've seen a guy in Russell Westbrook, who I've never liked as a point guard ever. Because I think he lacks the one thing you need as a point guard, and that's the ability to get the guys around you to play better, and not just dropping off easy assists just off laying the ball off with sheer athleticism and thinking a dump off pass is something that takes high basketball IQ. Um, Not trying to go off topic. I really do want to talk about Steph Curry and KD though, because when I think about a Steph Curry and I look about all of the things that this man does on the court, it's amazing. It's phenomenal, and so is KD. On the other hand, my favorite player of all time is Tracy McGrady, and so KD reminds me of a Tracy McGrady in a lot of ways. Uh, with that being said, there are limitations that KD has, that Tracy McGrady didn't have. But I don't say that to take away from KD. I have tremendous respect for him and what he does on the game. He's the best one-on-one player that we have in the game today, and he's more than just a one-on-one player. His efficiency, he takes efficiency to a whole nother level. Um, with what he's able to do, shooting the ball, scoring the ball, driving the ball, he is a freakish athlete. Not like a Giannis, but in his own right, with what he's able to do, being 6'11", and being able to shoot the way that he does. There's a lot of guards that can't even think about shooting the basketball like he that can, let alone him at his position is insane. But if we're talking about legacy and championships and resume and all of that good stuff, I probably would have to take Steph Curry. I think highly about Steph Curry, in terms of him being the point guard and what he does compared to all of the other point guards that have played historically. It's unspeakable. Like, he's changed the game. Like, let's just forget about what he does shooting the ball, because I think that part goes without saying. That's the obvious part. But what he does off the ball, it's like Ray Allen on steroids or Peja Stojakovic on steroids. It's just something different. Um, the constant movement, without the ball, with the ball, it can fatigue the hell out of a player. And I say that to say that Steph Curry undoubtedly is the most in shape player. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cardio. I'm just talking about cardio and in shape. I'm not talking about strength or anything like that. I'm just talking about in shape, being able to run forever. Like, that guy can run miles. His body is trained to do something that I've never seen anybody be able to do in all my time watching basketball. I'm just talking about the sport of basketball. It's something unreal. And so he's part of the reason why, in my opinion, why you have, the NBA trying to shorten the amount of games that players play nowadays. When you consider how many guys play, how many times guys score, 100 times per possession, all of that factors in with Steph Curry. Having to constantly chase dudes over screens to guard him, and how many times you're running in just one play. Back then, back in the day, you could only imagine it was probably one play, and that was really much it. Like now, it's like you're running like five sets in one play, in the 24-second shot clock with all the constant moving, and Steph Curry does it in a way that I've never seen anybody else do it today. But I just say that KD, he's an unstoppable offensive juggernaut. Can't nobody guard him one-on-one, but when you're playing a team sport, the only thing I'd say is it's a five-man game. And so usually when you're a superstar player, you're very rarely ever being guarded by one solo player. And so you have to figure out how you're going to handle your business or go about your business, in a team setting, and figure out ways that you just score regardless of the defense. And so we've seen KD and to up to a certain extent, get exposed this year with that Celtics defense. They put a bodies on him, and that's something I always thought, guys would be able to slow him down in that regard. If you just simply constantly keep putting bodies on him, he's slim. It doesn't look like he's went to the gym yet. But when you're comparing him directly to Steph Curry does have 4 championships to his 2. And KD wouldn't even have the 2 championships that he has right now if he didn't leave OKC to join Steph Curry and the Warriors ultimately. So it's nice going to a 72-win team and getting your championships that way. But it would have been nicer to see KD do it with Kyrie Irving, which we still have yet to rule out, because there's always a chance Kyrie can still return to the Nets to play this year. But honestly, KD has all the talent in the world. He's nothing short of spectacular in what he can do in his own right. Like 7-foot wingspan, can shoot over anybody. It's just certain things that he has that nobody has, just physically. But even then, if you're just talking about who's more of a handful on the other side of the ball and just being able to, slow that person down in some way, I feel like it's Steph Curry. I think this 4th championship pretty much sealed the deal on that as well. When you think about him being as short as he is, I can't stress it enough, guys. It's not like he's a Jordan or a Tracy McGrady or a Kobe Bryant or KD or one of these guys where, he has to really get it out of the mud, work for it. He really has to work like that. That is not skill overnight, guys. The work, the hard work, the dedication. That's the only reason you see Steph Curry doing the things that he does. And honestly, hard work and dedication is bullshit, because I'm sure a lot of people put in a hard work and dedication and they can't become what he is. It's a whole different type of work ethic, a work ethic that he still has, because coming into the league, he was not this. He became this. Nobody told this guy after he made millions and millions of dollars to still put his body in the most peak condition that nobody could even think of. To do what he does is not easy. I can't think of it. Like the constant running, like the ankle injuries, to still figure out a way to keep your body in that peak condition to be able to do the things that he does is he is the engine. He's everything to the Warriors. He's the head of the snake. Truly, he was really the only person that couldn't be stopped on this Warriors team this year. Yeah, Andrew Wiggins did his thing, and I give him his props. But he did that on the defensive end more than anything else in terms of what Jason Tatum didn't do. And Jason Tatum is a discussion for another day. Uh, that guy made me furious throughout these playoffs because I thought highly of him, and I still do. Uh, but it was just, a guy with his experience doing things that he's already done in past postseasons. It was just very disappointing. But when you're talking about all time, I would put Steph Curry in that top 10 conversation. I'd have to get back to you guys on how I would number my top 10, 1 through 10. But I would definitely have Steph Curry in it. KD would probably be outside of it, maybe in the top 15, top 20. Uh, because right now, I just feel like it's easy to look at KD and say he has 2 rings because, he was on the Warriors when he did it. And I'm not trying to take away from him, but I'm not trying to hear Russell Westbrook as an excuse as to why you didn't do anything on those OKC teams, especially in that same year before KD took off and went to the Warriors. They had the Warriors up. They were up on the Warriors 3-1. They were up on that Warriors team, I tell you, 3-1 with Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook choked, which probably isn't too much to be too surprising considering how out of control he is at times. But KD, being the more efficient player that we're used to seeing, was not that guy and did not show up in that moment. Looked like he was trying to shy away from it. I'm not sure, but he played awful, and so that actually makes it even worse. It's like not only do you guys lose to that Warriors team and you join that same team that you lost to, but you were up on that team 3-1, and then it was you, KD, nobody else but you who did not show up in that postseason, in that playoffs. And then you take the coward's way out by joining another team, and hey, that's old news. You got the champion, and I'm proud of you for being the champion, bro. 2 times. You did do something by becoming an MVP in both of those years, but really and truly, you have a guy, a 2-time unanimous MVP in Steph Curry, who already did it, prior to you. And so him along with Klay Thompson and a Draymond Green, I just would like to see you do it on a winning team. But I say that to say that I think in terms of resume and legacy, I think Steph Curry has the head up on KD. And this conversation can always be furthered. It's not over. They're both still playing, and so the story is still being wrote while we speak. And so nothing that I say right now is set in stone. I just want y'all to understand that. And that's where I'm really at with it. I just think Steph Curry, along with what he has done with the accomplishments and everything else, what he has done to the game, it doesn't compare if you're talking about KD. Steph Curry's revolutionized the game where the game will never be the same. You have guys jacking up threes. Not to say that it wasn't always happening earlier before Steph Curry, but he's only emphasized it even more to where now everybody's doing it. I can only imagine what the NBA is going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years. But hey, I'm a fan of the game, and so I'll always love it. Got to be a fan of progress and the evolution of things, and so it's definitely something to see and a sight to behold. And that pretty much wraps things up for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little debate. Can't wait to see you guys in the comment sections to see what you guys think about it. And I will be back for the next episode about next week. Sean the Wise One, over and out.